Hi everyone, my name is Monique and I'm the head of community here at Self. Reading a credit report can be a bit overwhelming, especially if you're not used to the data and format being presented. Have you ever seen a credit report? Sometimes it can be up to 20 pages. Credit reports typically include a lot of information that includes your credit history as well as your financial behaviors. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to read your credit report. A credit score is a formula used to predict your ability to pay back money on time. This score is the main factor, along with other criteria, in determining your eligibility for loans, credit cards, housing, and sometimes even employment. To learn more about what a credit score is, watch our video, What is a Credit Score?, linked in the description box below. A credit report is a detailed record of your credit history. It's maintained by the credit reporting agencies, also known as the credit bureaus, and it's used by creditors, landlords, lenders, and others to assess your credit worthiness. And it helps them make decisions about extending credit, offering loans, or entering into financial agreements. You can get a copy of your credit report with all 3 credit bureaus at annualcreditreport.com. You can use various credit reporting agencies to also view it, or if you're looking for your score, you can use the Self app, or you can go to myfico.com. Your credit report will be divided into different sections. This may include personal information, credit history, public records, as well as credit inquiries. Your credit report contains personal information such as your name, address, date of birth, social security number, and employment history. Double check and make sure that your personal information is correct. A misspelled name, an address you don't recognize, or your social security number thrown off by one number could indicate that your report is being used incorrectly. If you do see any discrepancies, you can file a report with the credit bureaus. Unless you're new to building credit, this is typically the largest section of your report. Your revolving and installment debts will be listed here. You'll see your accounts such as your mortgages, your student loans, and your credit cards. Now, this section helps the credit bureaus calculate your score, so you want to pay attention to detail. This section will include accounts from the past 7 to 10 years. So take a look at details like the creditor's name, the account status, the balance, the credit limit, as well as the payment history. Your credit report includes the payment history of all revolving and installment debt for the past 7 years. Revolving debt is the type of debt that allows consumers to keep using borrowed money up to a set credit limit as long as you make on-time payments. The most common type of example for this would be a credit card. Installment debt is the type of debt that involves borrowing a specific amount of money upfront and then paying it over a fixed period of time in regular and equal installment payments. An example of this would be a home loan or an auto loan. Your payment history identifies if you've paid current and past accounts or trade lines on time. A trade line is simply an entry in your credit report that represents a credit or credit-related account. If you see an account you don't recognize, you can file a dispute directly with the credit bureaus on their website. You should explain in writing what you think is wrong, why, and include documents that support your claim. Or if you see an error with one of your existing trade lines, you can either contact your lender directly or file a dispute online with the credit bureaus. Public records related to debt will be listed on your credit report. This includes evictions, judgments, and bankruptcies. Make sure that anything listed in that section has the correct personal information. And if you see any inaccuracies, you can file a dispute with Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion. A hard inquiry will be listed on your credit report with the company you authorized to pull with, as well as the date. Inquiry you don't recognize could be a red flag for identity theft. Double check the dates of the inquiries listed, as they should be removed after 2 years. And if you see an inquiry you don't recognize, contact the credit bureaus and ask for a hard inquiry removal. Credit scores represent your credit worthiness, which is then used by lenders to determine if they will extend credit to you. Now, different credit scoring models like Vantage Score or FICO use slightly different ranges, but the most common model used, FICO, ranges from 300 to 850. Here are their general score ranges and their categories. It's important to note that these ranges can vary depending on the credit score model being used, and sometimes lenders have their own criteria for what they consider to be a good credit score. If you requested your credit score and you're not seeing a score, that just means you have insufficient credit history. Or in some rare cases, if you're seeing a showing of 4 come up, don't worry, that just means you have insufficient credit history as well. Insufficient credit history means you don't have enough credit experience to be approved for a loan or a credit card. Protecting your credit is essential to ensure your financial well-being and to prevent yourself against identity theft and fraud. Here's some things that you can do to protect your credit. Monitor your credit report. Regularly check your credit report with all 3 credit bureaus and look out for any suspicious activity, inaccuracies, or accounts you don't recognize. Use strong passwords. Use strong and unique passwords for your financial accounts and avoid using guessable information like your name and birthday. Also consider using a password keeper to keep your passwords secure. Be cautious about sharing your personal information both offline and online. Don't share any sensitive details over the phone or through email unless you're really certain about the request. Use two-factor authentication. Enable two-factor authentication to all your financial accounts. This adds an extra layer of security by verifying a second form of identification along with your password. Freeze your account. Consider placing a credit freeze or a fraud alert on your credit account. A credit freeze restricts access to your credit report, making it more difficult for someone that steals your identity to open new accounts under your name. And a fraud alert is just another layer of protection that requires creditors to verify your identity before extending credit to you. And last but not least, educate yourself. Stay informed of the latest scams and tactics used by identity thieves. Being aware of the latest threats can help you recognize potential dangers. All right, you just did it. You just learned how to read a credit report. To learn more about credit, you can watch our How to Get Started series linked in the description box below. Or for more credit tips, you can go to self.inc. Don't forget to subscribe, like our video, comment below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.